Chapter 20, Uneasy, EPS Perspective. I stared at the phone, not entirely sure why Jasmine had hung up. I was in the Syara team's discussion room in the God World. Who was that? Pantherye asked from behind me. She was sitting at the cameras. She was wearing a red t-shirt, black jeans, and black sneakers. Jagwerye and Lynye went to investigate a neighborhood not far from my apartment complex. From what we're hearing, a mortal supposedly spotted Karo in the area. I sighed. Jasmine. She sounded panicked. She walked away from the cameras and over to me. Do you want to go to her? I put the phone down on the discussion table. Yes, but she asked me to finish the meeting, and I know her. If I go home now, she'll be mad at me for putting her before myself, I admitted. She crossed her arms. Do you want me to come with you? I shook my head. No, I just have this uneasy feeling that Jasmine actually took a knife to her wrist this time. If she did, I'll definitely freak out on her. She grabbed my shoulders and stared in my eyes. Maybe it would be better if I do go. I clenched my fists and sighed. Yeah, let's go. I grabbed the doorknob. Lypye, wait! Pantherye tried. I opened the door and caught a glimpse of white fabric. Curious, I walked out and noticed Kakohn leaning on the wall next to the door.
You should be more careful,
he warned.
You're lucky it's me and not another god.
Pantherye walked out of the room. Kakohn! I chuckled. Aren't I lucky? Seems like you and the Syara team are the only ones that come to this part of the God World. He smirked.
Of course. I'm always curious how our dear Syara team is doing.
Pantherye crossed her arms. Did you need something, or did you just come here to spy on us?
I need to warn you. The prophecy that you say ruined your life, Lypye. I know it shall be fully fulfilled in the next few years to come.
He told us. I thought that prophecy had been fulfilled, Pantherye said.
Lypye may have been evil at one point, but that is not the ultimate destruction that will befall us.
He warned. You saw the future again, didn't you? I asked.
It's called a premonition, Lypye, and yes.
He told me. I rolled my eyes and he continued.
It was very vague, so I don't know who it is, but I do know that a third threat will emerge to complete the prophecy. The most I know about this threat is that they are an unexpected enemy, one that you would never expect to see as an enemy.
I stared at him. Someone I never thought I'd see as an enemy? Like a god or a mortal? That could be many different cat humans. Kakohn's premonitions, as he calls them, are pretty vague. For all I know, I don't know this person yet. Pantherye sighed. Whoever this new enemy is, we will deal with them like any other enemy. She grabbed my wrist and pulled me back into the room. Now go chart this new prophecy or whatever and leave us alone. We heard an alarm go off in the discussion room. Quickly, Pantherye shut the door and ran to the camera monitors. I walked up behind her. What is it? Someone pushed their button on Karth. She responded, sitting down. She started clicking around with a mouse, zooming in on a map. This is more a hyena's thing, operating this, but I should be able to at least pinpoint the location. I looked over to the right of the monitor, seeing a small red button. I pushed it. The alarm that was going off turned off. She looked at me. How did you know to do that? I pointed and she followed her gaze over to a sign. The button said, to turn off mortal alarm, push red button below. She cleared her throat. Anyway, she zoomed in close enough to see where the signal originated from. My heart stopped. Pantherye looked back at me. Isn't that... My eyes widened in fear and I whispered, Jasmine. Both of us rushed to the apartment. The door to the apartment and the patio were still intact. Aside from the patio door being wide open, there was no other sign of a break-in. I walked into the apartment through the patio door and immediately took note of a couple scuff marks on the hardwood floor of the living room. Jasmine! I yelled. Pantherye grabbed my arm. Hush. If there's an enemy nearby, you don't want to alert them of your presence. I ripped my arm out of her grasp and ran to Jasmine's room, gasping. The whole place had been ransacked. There was a hole in the wall behind the door. In the middle of her room, I saw the button and her pocket knife in the middle of the floor. Her bed, which was normally neat and made up, was a wreck. The sheets were pulled halfway off, and they were bunched up like someone tried to grip them. A blanket was on the floor with her open laptop, which was upside down. I picked up the laptop, but it was locked, and Jasmine now had it password protected. She didn't like me using it for hacking. She must have been on her laptop when someone grabbed her. She resisted, grabbing the bed, but fell, dropped the pocket knife and the button, I thought, and she ran. I walked into the bathroom. The door was ripped off of the top hinge, and the door frame was splintered in multiple spots. The edge of the toilet seat had blood on it, and there was a small line of blood dragged across the floor. She ran to the bathroom and locked herself in here. Whoever got her forced the door open, breaking the door and the frame. Her head was knocked against the toilet, knocking her unconscious. She was dragged from the bathroom and out the patio door. I finished. Karo must have grabbed her. He was seen in the area, Pantherye pointed out. She was now standing in the bedroom doorway. No, Karo's strong, but he's an idiot. He wouldn't be able to do all this in less than 10 minutes without us catching him, I responded. I looked around the bathroom until something caught my eye. There was a yellow sticky note upside down in the bathtub. Jasmine always kept pens and sticky notes everywhere to remind her to do something. I climbed into the bathtub and picked up the sticky note, turning it over. It felt like the world had stopped as I realized that it was a picture of a crown. I clenched my fist, crumpling the note, and slammed it against the wall, cracking some of the tile. Damn it! Pantherye took the sticky note from me, uncrumpling it, then pulled out her phone, pulling it to her ear. After a minute, I heard her say, Jagwerye, as soon as you hear this, come to City Hall. Lypye and I are headed there now. King has Jasmine. She put her phone back into her pocket, sighing, Let's go. Wait, I told her, walking to my room and closing the door behind me. I changed out of my black pants and into my black booty shorts. I opened the door and Pantherye narrowed her eyes to me. Lypye, don't you dare ridicule me over my clothes, I snapped. But Jagwerye, I don't care. I may have turned my back on evil, but I'm not entirely good either. I am the goddess of darkness. The Syara team seems to have forgotten that. That's fine. King's team forgot that? I chuckled, smirking, feeling angry. I'm going to go there and fucking remind them. Pantherye stared at me for a while, then smirked. I'm up for a little ass kicking myself, but... She pulled out her phone, typed in a number, then held the phone up to her ear. Hey, it's me, Pantherye. Get your team together. I need your help taking down King.
Chapter 21. Manipulation.
Jagwerye and
Lynye's
Lynye's
perspectives.
perspectives. Jagwerye's perspective. Hyena and I had been out for at least an hour looking for Karo in this residential area, and I was convinced this was a false alarm. Maybe we should call it off, I suggested. Hyena nodded.
If Karo was here, he's probably long gone by now.
I sighed. Let's go. I went to walk away from the complex, but a searing pain went through my left arm. To my horror, there was a giant mouth biting down on it. Hyena quickly leapt into action, pulling my arm away. My arm had a few bleeding lines where the teeth had scraped it. The mouth morphed into Karo, who was smirking. My vision started blurring from the agonizing pain, but I couldn't tell if that was because of the scrapes or because of the poison setting in.
Hyena's perspective. I stared at Jagwerye, horrified, as she fell to her knees. You bastard! I yelled, trying to punch him in the face. He stepped aside, causing me to fall forward onto my knees. He kicked my back, making me faceplant on the ground. Weak little hyena Syara, he taunted. Too weak to fight, too weak to save his sister. I clenched my hands into fists, stood up quickly, then punched him in the face. He held his face and laughed. You still got fire left in you. Even with your sister dying. Even with your girlfriend captured. A girlfriend? I questioned. I don't have a girlfriend. Oh, so the girl was just a fling. He smirked. Hyena. Jasmine, I whispered. How did you find out? You really don't know? Know what? I asked, narrowing my eyes. He gave me an evil grin and shook his head slowly, saying nothing. He came charging at me and took me off my feet. I could have easily dodged that, but the thought of Jagwerye slowly dying to poison distracted me. He grabbed my neck, choking me. I quickly swung my legs into his side, kicking him off of me. Pulling the cuffs out of my pockets, I went to grab his wrist, but he rolled away just out of reach, quickly standing. He smirked. Shall we watch Jagwerye die together? I glanced at Jagwerye laying on the ground, struggling to breathe, panicking. If I keep fighting Karo, Jagwerye will die before I can get her to the Godward Hospital. What do I do?
Jagwerye's perspective. My vision was blurry, and I felt a ringing in my ears. I felt an intensely sharp pain in my chest. I was dying. I had been staring at the sunset for who knows how long. Glancing up, I noticed Hyena panicking, flicking back and forth between Karo and I knew Hyena all too well. He's an amazing fighter, but when he panics, he drops his guard. I pulled myself up slowly, sitting crisscross. My right hand started shaking. Following my gut, I raised that hand and aimed it at Karo, who was now in a fist fight with Hyena. Whatever is about to happen, let it save Hyena. I felt a tingle start in my right shoulder and quickly make its way down my right arm. As soon as the feeling hit my palm, a short white beam shot out of my palm, hitting Karo in the face. I collapsed back down, exhausted. Hyena quickly handcuffed the now unconscious Karo, then ran over to me, falling to his knees right next to me.
I didn't know you could do that.
He exclaimed. Neither did I breathed. He picked me up in a cradle position, and I tucked my wings behind me to make it easier for him.
We need to get you to the Godward Hospital.
Hyena. Karo, I reminded him.
Forget him. We need to get you to the cure.
He panicked. We can't just leave him. I tried. He stared into my eyes, showing his genuine fear. He knew I was right.
Hyena's perspective. She was right. I couldn't just leave Karo, but I wasn't going to have time to bring him to jail and save Jagwerye. Fuck it, I mumbled, pulling the key out of my pocket and throwing it in front of me. The key quickly morphed into a portal about my height with a bright white light shining through.
Hyena.
Jagwerye mumbled, grabbing my arm lightly. No, Jagwerye. I bring him to jail, he'll just break out again. If you die, you're not coming back. You're not talking me out of this. I snapped, walking through the portal into the god world. The portal closed and I quickly caught the key, then ran Jagwerye as fast as I could to the infirmary. Yeva, the goddess of medicine, and her twin brother, Yevo, the god of herbs, were present. I need help, now, I yelled. Yeva looked over at me, then quickly pulled out a gurney over to us and patted it fast. I laid Jagwerye down, my heart racing. Yeva looked me into the eyes. What happened? Karo bit her, I exclaimed. Yeva examined Jagwerye's arm.
Yevo, I need you to inject her with a cure in multiple areas. We need to get it into her bloodstream as fast as possible. I will start cauterizing her arm, then stitch it up. Prince Hyena, please get Queen Hina. She should know about Princess Jagwerye.
Without hesitation, I quickly ran out of the room and down the winding hallways to my mom's office. I burst into my mom's office in a panic, breathing heavily.
Hyena Tygon Syara!
My mom exclaimed. Sorry, you need to come down to the infirmary immediately, I yelled. Mom stood up and walked over to me.
Why? What's wrong?
It's Jagwerye. Karo bit her. We didn't have the cure. I took a deep breath. My mom stared off into space, not responding. The look in her eyes almost looked like a look of regret. She shook her head, then motioned for me to follow her. She and I began walking to the infirmary.
Why didn't you have the cure handy if you were going to fight Karo? I thought Pantherye always had it.
Mom questioned. Pantherye wasn't there, I mumbled. Mom took a deep breath.
Why?
She stayed behind to... I stopped. I can't tell her it was to watch over Lypye. She'd kill us. She wanted to keep an eye on things. It was only Karo that was spotted. She was waiting on King and Kim to show their faces. She was waiting for them to come out of hiding. She believed Karo was just a trick. Mom nodded.
If you don't want to bring her, that's fine, but remember to bring the antidote next time.
We rounded the corner to the infirmary, and Mom's composure immediately vanished when she saw Jagwerye.
Jagwerye!
My mom yelled, running out of the waiting room and into the back. I came in quickly behind her. Yevo jumped in the way. Queen Hina, wait. We have her stabilized, but we need to monitor her carefully. Nothing can get bumped out of place.
I'm the goddess of spells. I could find a spell.
She panicked. I grabbed my mom's wrist. Mom, she's in stable condition. Just need to wait.